Recovery is stupendous.
Achievable.
Hope.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Empowering. It's unique to everyone.
The journey, not a destination.
Getting a new lease on life.
Finding restoration after you fall down.
Recovery is having the freedom to enjoy life.
For me, it was finding a way to really love myself.
My recovery is possible in part because of my own sense of purpose.
All right, Jim Haney here, Montana's Peer Network. We're recording a live podcast at the 2018 Recovery Conference in Missoula. I am here with my co-host,
Katie Sorensen.
All right, I think you heard her on the last podcast, but I also have a bunch of guests, and we might even get some other guests who just kind of join us and just sort of jump in. I see somebody now. Come on over here.
Asa
just grab a
Lurkey
chair.
just won Peer Supporter of the Year award.
Exactly. So we're honored. We're blessed to be in your presence, the award winner here, right? Okay, so let's go around and have everybody introduce themselves. Do we want to go? We want to go this way?
Sure.
You good?
My name is Derek Lozo.
All right. So Derek.
I'm Tony Myers.
Tony Myers.
Jason Edmond, Peer Support Specialist.
Nice, Jason.
Beth Conley, Peer Support Specialist.
Steve Hurd, Peer Support Specialist.
Lisa Lurkey, Peer Support Specialist.
Ashley McLean, Recovery Coach for MPN.
Nice. So we have a full house, and it's going to be a totally different podcast. We're not doing the regular format. This is just going to be total free form. Since we're at the Recovery Conference, Katie, what are we going to be talking about?
So today we kind of just wanted to get everybody's take on what recovery means to them. We figured we have a wide variety of people at the Recovery Conference here today. A lot of people coming back from a lot of different kinds of challenges, and so we just want to know what people in real life, in real time, are thinking and how they feel about their own recovery. So, take it away.
Okay, special guests. What do you think about that?
Recovery for me is so multifaceted. It's a total life encompassment. My first of all are obviously achievements. I had 1,200 days of sobriety yesterday. So
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, by far the longest I've ever been sober in my life. And the recovery process didn't start when I first got sober. It was about 8 months in before I realized that I really wanted this for myself. My first moment to get to sobriety was that I just didn't want to die. And that's where I started. And then I switched hit to my kids. And I was so far down that it took constant meditation and praying to the universe and self-discovery to be able to start to build the foundation that I have my life on today.
Nice. It's nice, Beth. Very good. All right. Come on, recovery.
I'm Steve.
Who else?
Recovery to me, man, I think recovery to me meant being able to deal with life on life's terms without having to relapse in my mental health or my substance abuse. You know, throughout my recovery, I've dealt with family and friends dying, and being able to process that and deal with that instead of turning to using or relapsing into my PTSD. And I've gone through failed relationships, financial woes, hard times, and never once, because of my recovery, have I had to just fall back into old ways. You know, I've been able to find something new, and I love it every day. You know, even on the bad days, I'll take a bad day in recovery over a good day using any day. I absolutely love what I do, and I will support recovery until the day I die. And hopefully I can make a splash in the world, you know.
You are making a splash. Trust me, you are, man. You are. I remember when Steve was in training. Steve was setting people straight in the room in training. He was actually telling people in training who were saying stuff like, kind of like, I don't think you quite get what we're talking about here. Like, he was actually saying it before I was, and it was really cool to see. And I remember because you sat right up at the front, and you were like right there, and he was saying stuff, and I was like, he's going to be an awesome peer supporter. Like, I just kept thinking that to myself. All right, go ahead. Who else? Recovery.
So recovery to me, I'm actually real humbled today because I get to sit in the room of heroes of mine today. People that have saved my life, people that have let me help them in their life. You know, recovery to me is more than just just being absent of drugs. It's learning a new way of life and being able to share that with other people. I have 2 coworkers in this room right now. I have one of, just greatness, man, and I'm overwhelmed by what's going on today. I got to see someone get an award that I thought we'd probably be locked up together sometime, and he got her award today, and it's just an amazing feat that recovery has allowed us. And now, with recovery, we get to pass that on. We get to break that cycle and help people understand that a life without drugs, how to get through trauma, it's just an amazing thing. So, recovery to me, in words, is living a new life and passing it down to those who are still suffering. So.
Nice, very nice, Jason. That's good.
Recovery to me is it's a holistic approach to life that was never presented before.
That's it.
When we grow up, when we don't have the stable homes, the foundations, the structure, because I don't know what none of those words meant before I got here. And then we get here and we're broken. We don't know, and we think we know, and everything that we think we know, we're defining ourselves to be who we think that we're supposed to be, but yet we don't know who we are. And so recovery is a journey to come and to find out who I am, and to be that, and to be able to participate in the lives of others, and to bring that in a way that's loving, caring, accepting, and not separation, because connection. Recovery is connection. It's connection with myself. It's connection with my partners, with my friends, my family, my community, the person at the grocery store. When you walk in, hey Tony, how you doing today? Hey Linda, Never before. Never before.
Nope.
Right.
I mean, I today in my life, I drive through my bank, Glacier Bank up in Ronan. I drive through my bank, and the ladies there, they're like, what sucker do you want today, Tony? I mean, I come through during Christmas time, and they say, hold on a minute, we got something for you. And they bring me a card with everybody's signature on it saying Merry Christmas.
Nice.
And that's coming from a guy who grew up on the streets when he was 10 years old, sleeping in the post office because it was the only warm place to be. And then growing up in institutions.
Yeah.
And to be the recovery, it's connection.
Nice. Nice.
And it's growth within ourselves to be with you.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Recovery, what it is to me. So, as I was sitting here and I was thinking about this, recovery to me is an answered prayer of a broken human being that didn't have anywhere else to go or anything else to do. And, much like Tony was saying, instead of cops looking for me, cops wave at me now.
Yeah.
Because they know me.
Yeah.
But they also know that I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
And, recovery has taught me how to respect my intelligence. And it's one of the only places where I think the teacher can be the taught. Where teachers can learn to be taught. And, that happens to us in these meetings that we go to, and, we hear that newcomer come in, and it takes us right back to that spot where we began those prayers. Yeah. And, it also teaches me how to be a father, how to be a friend, how to be a husband, how to be true to myself and the responsibility that I have, because I'm a Native American individual in the United States of America today. I understand that these are two worlds that have to coexist. And the only way that I can coexist in this world today is to have a clear mind and to be the best person that I can absolutely be to everybody around me. And the only way to do that is to be in recovery. And, I appreciate, the word recovery, because it has so many umbrellas that fall under it. And it can be recovery is the healing process what we're called wounded healers.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this is a spiritual warfare, you know, this thing of addiction. You know, the way that I see it is that, you know, all of us have each other's back, whether we're white, black, Asian, American, whatever we are, we have each other's back. If I'm down on the ground in this recovery process, somebody's hand's going to come out and help me out.
Yeah.
And that's what recovery is to me.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
So I feel like recovery is about access and opportunities. So I spent most of my life feeling like an outsider and feeling that nothing was ever going to go right for me and nothing was ever going to change for me. And honestly, I was so far from everything that was good when I was a kid that like I didn't even know that there was good things going on. And then as I got a little bit older, I had a couple of things happen in my life. I got like foster homes or whatever that like showed me that there was like these beautiful people that were doing beautiful things like going skiing and like hiking with their families and doing these amazing things like going to outlet shopping malls. And those were things that I did not have access to. I did not have access to vacations. I did not have access to trips. I didn't even have everything like that. All that beautiful stuff was just stuff that happened in the movies. It was just like fairy tales. And so I spent most of my life thinking that I was locked out and I was isolated, like what you were saying about having connection. And so for me, getting into recovery and like going to college, like that was like one of those things that only the beautiful people get to do. And so like today in recovery, like I am one of those beautiful people. Like I have graduated from college. I am a single mom who has pulled my little family, me and my daughter, out of 100 years of poverty into the middle class. I have graduated. I do have a job as a peer services coordinator that was difficult for me to get, and I do have the ability today to put like my best foot forward. And so I got opportunities in recovery that I did not have when I was not in recovery.
Very nice.
Recovery to me is a whole life change. I'm no longer a fugitive. I'm no longer an inmate. You know, my first child was born 34 years ago, but I started being a dad 4 years ago when I got clean. You know, I look around this room, I see somebody that I would have wound up in prison with. I see my sponsor. I see somebody I've been in jail with. I see one of my dearest, closest friends. I see the man that trained me, a couple other good friends. But that's all from recovery because none one of us would be getting along if we were using drugs today. Recovery taught me how to be a friend, taught me how to have friends. 4.5 years ago, I was all over the news as Montana's most wanted. Today, I got awarded as a peer supporter for Montana.
Yeah.
That's what recovery, I'm kind of emotional, that's what recovery does for me. So I'm a single parent now. And every night, my 14-year-old son yells, "Dad, I love you." I never even told my own dad that. That's what recovery means to me because my son does love me. And I love my kids, and now I know how to. That's what it means to me.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Wow.
Yeah, in recovery, we get to see grown criminals crying like
little
girls.
Yeah.
Not to be gender stereotyping, but
no.
I'd like to add one more thing. In the slideshow, when I seen Derek Gibbs, I shook a little bit.
Yeah, I had to get Derek up in there. Yeah, no, the getting emotional thing, and then I'll share some about my thoughts on recovery, but you would know this because when you came up, I mean, I had tears in my eyes. The ward thing for me is like very personal because I think that from my experience as a client, right, I see these people working and there's no acknowledgement of anything they're doing, right? Like you see this. And then when you start working in the field, you see these people working hard, burning out, and no one ever acknowledges the work, you know? And now seeing all of you guys, I mean, you're out there, you're making a difference. And it's like, I mean, I was adamant, like when we start this conference thing, like 4 years ago, we're going to give awards to people because I think it's so important. I mean, I look back when I was a kid, like getting award, like I was on some bowling team, like most improved bowler. I still have that award today. Like I still have that bowling, for when I was 10, because someone acknowledged me, you know what I mean? Because I tried, right? And so the award thing, and so every person who we gave an award to, I go up to. I mean, I can hardly talk when I shake their hand or hug them because I do. I'm like you. I mean, I tear up because it's so emotional. You see the impact, lives changing, right? And that's what I'm hearing from all of you. We have about a minute and a half left, and I'm going to be really quick. I don't know if I can share anything more on recovery than what I heard, the wisdom I kind of heard in this room. For me, I would just add, everything that you guys said is awesome. And for me, it was like healing is the one word that comes to mind for me, because there was a lot of pain inside me, and the healing that had to take place, to get me to the next step, along the road. And the stuff that's going on in the state today, and seeing people and being able to train people and watch you guys go out and then do your own thing, it's part of my own recovery. It's still part of my own healing and growth process. It still is, and so it's just amazing. And thank you, all of you, for that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much. That was really good.
Well,
thank you. Train us to be us, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I realized when I started that drop-in center, and there was only 6 of us in the whole state, I remember how alone I felt.
How many is there now?
Well, there's more than 40 peer support programs fully running in the state today. Yeah. And I remember how alone that felt. Like, I would call the dude in Bozeman and like, man, I don't know what I'm doing today. And he would say the same thing to me. And we had there was no one to mentor us. There was nobody, And so it's just all the work you guys are doing everywhere, all of it, in the system, outside the system. I don't care what it is. It's just amazing. So I want to thank you all. We are really literally out of time for today's podcast. Katie, do you want to say a few things here before we kind of wrap up?
I just want to say we're here at the Recovery Conference. It's been totally amazing. I feel so proud and humble to be a part of this. I get to work with all the people that I love, and if you're in recovery, I have become a person in recovery who loves you. Like, we have this bond in recovery that means that we made it through a struggle, and that's why peer support works. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this team, the team that I have here around me. These are the people that I love, and I get to work with them, and it's just amazing. So come down to the Recovery Conference. Oh.
Absolutely. Come to the Recovery Conference, and
Whoa!
As Katie knocks her drink across the table. Her
I just
water
get so
drink.
excited.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Recovery works and recovery is possible.
Recovery works and recovery is possible.
Recovery works, recovery is possible.
Recovery is possible.
Recovery works and recovery is possible.
Recovery works and recovery is possible.
Recovery works and recovery is possible.
Recovery is possible.
Oh, so the question